is going on, YouTube fam? We're back for another movie review, and now we're going to be reviewing Bloodshot, which comes to theaters March 13th. And matter of fact, this weekend has been like a really big, I'll say really big and busy weekend of really versatile releases this week. But Bloodshot is just added to the list, and Bloodshot is based on a really popular and best-selling comic book. So a lot of people may have seen it from that, but nonetheless, it has a really big name attached to it in action. That's Vin Diesel, and I, love him or hate him, the guy, if he's in something, he's gonna put eyes on it. But so this movie does follow Dominic Toretto, who's now a military man. I know jokes about Fast and Furious. But he's an elite soldier who was sent to Kenya to rescue hostages. And immediately, immediately before the title scene, the movie automatically introduced killer great action and like slow like that slow motion combat. Gives you all of that immediately. So it wasted no time in making sure that the tone was set. And I did see this movie in IMAX, which, the expectation with action films, seeing in IMAX, is that the sounds and effects would truly be mind-blowing, especially with a movie that could rely heavily on CGI. So that type of film, you just got that expectation, especially when you're using the IMAX. And matter of fact, speaking of that, funny thing, at my screening today, the movie had to reset like 6 times because it just couldn't get it right. It was from either the sound not working or then the picture wasn't showing up. But nonetheless, they finally got it together. But anyway, no, seriously, Vin Diesel plays Ray Garrison, he got him and his wife killed because of, life caught up to him. But after that happened, the military donated his body to RST, Rising Spirits Technology, where they used this donor and they put him in this project called Project Bloodshot, in which they did a blood transfusion, and it wasn't just normal blood, but it was advanced nanotechnology blood, giving him a second chance at life. And while all that happened, it also came at the expense of him losing his memory temporarily. And also at RST, he was also accompanied by other wounded soldiers who are now advanced soldiers in their own ways. But speaking of that, this movie did have amazing technology. And like, Bloodshot himself was, like, he was using God's eye from, like, Fast and the Furious. Like, truly using all types of surveillance or technology to locate things all over the world, which was pretty cool. But, like I said, all the advanced soldiers in their own respective way were just really cool. The technology was just cool. I loved it. But the action scenes are exactly what you thought they would be, coming into this movie. Like, for instance, like if you were playing the game and you had the invincibility code, now you're just going to walk up to anything and just start wreaking havoc. Like, no regard for like being stealth or, anything. You're just walking up to people and just wreaking straight havoc. No protection, no self. Just like, boom, throwing everything around. I know you guys be watching those people modding GTA, and y'all be seeing how they be playing. Yeah, there was a lot of that happening in this movie. And again, it's so funny because he went from being an elite soldier to being really tactical about his killing and strategy to now like, oh, he knows he got all this events like endurance, strength, and just, he's a super soldier. So he's now like, yeah, nah, forget all that. But nonetheless, when you go into the second phase of this movie, it's basically 50 first dates for a hired killer, and it's just nuts. It really is. And a Vin Diesel movie, there's cars involved. You can't have a Vin Diesel movie without cars being in it. But really, like, straight up, this movie has a lot of parallels to G.I. Joe Rise of the Cobra. Like, nonetheless, like, a lot. But it's just updated. And it's like, again, it's updated with like that really cool advanced warfare tech. So I really like that. I can't stress enough. The technology is so cool in this movie. But when you go into the last phase of this action movie, it just gets absolutely insane. where like I felt like the CGI was really good, because that was the big question: was the CGI going to go way overboard, or could they keep it at hand? And I think they did. So you know that scene that you seen in the trailers, that kind of like aerial fall in the elevator scene, that they, like I said, that they teased in the trailer. It was totally everything plus more. It was definitely the highlight of this film. I truly loved it. But then, like, you know, there's other things that happen in this movie as well too. Like, there's a scene where he takes a shotgun to the face, and his face comes halfway off, and you know, in other explosion scenes, and then you know, the tech, not the nanotech to like rebuild himself, or like the overclock as they call it, scenes were just so good. I mean, like, if you've seen Terminator Genesis, excuse me, which probably a lot of people didn't, but I liked it. I ain't gonna fake, I liked it. But you know, seeing, you know, when Jason Clarke, who plays John Connor in that movie, seeing how he phasing and like separating the body from the skeleton and stuff like that type of rebuilding nanotech, it was a lot like that, and it was so cool. I think you've seen a preview of that in the trailers for this movie, but it was just so cool, something very much like that. But anyway, I know I've emphasized a lot on the good, as I usually do. I have got to mention some of the bad in this movie for sure. Now, there was a ton of plot convenient things in this movie. And what I mean by that is, like, things were not consistent or logical, but they had to do it in order to make things work. Like, there was some inconsistencies that are so apparent that you're just like, but that other time, they, you know, that type of mentality. And also, like, smart people doing not so smart things and very unsmart decisions, for people to be like geniuses and stuff like that. Not to mention the stereotypical nerd slash hacker look and how they perpetrate them. It's just, we're tired of that same old, like, this is a nerd because a nerd has to do this and act that certain way. You know what I mean? But there was some mild humor in the movie, not a lot, but you know, but nonetheless, I can't stress enough. Outside of Vin Diesel, if you love Vin Diesel, you know, mean mugging Vin Diesel, there was really no other character that had that besides the character Wiggins, who's played by Lamar Morrison, who just, you know, he is the bright spot, the bright performance in this movie, and he really does kills his European accent in this movie. But again, I don't know. I like this movie. There's nothing about me that says that I did not like it. I don't know if this is the one that sets up the franchise completely for more success in the future, but I think this movie was good enough to strike some intrigue, especially to people who are diehard comic book fans of it, which I think did justice for that. But again, I think even if you don't know the comics, I think you will enjoy it. But I just don't know if it's that movie to say, oh yeah, we need the franchise now. That's where I'm at with it. But nonetheless, you know what you get when you're getting Vin Diesel movies. And I think it did deliver on that note as well. And sure, I kind of nitpicked the plot a little bit. But like, nonetheless, it's fun. The action is great. I think it is worth an IMAX. If you have the extra, I think it's definitely worth the IMAX dollars. But like, it's definitely some insane things going on, and like, I can't stress it enough. It gives me that video game thing, and it's a comic book, so I feel like that correlation needs to kind of be a thing. But yeah, you know, once you get that OP cheat code and you got to walk into that fort and it's you versus 20, you're not ducking and dodging nobody. You're walking it through and you're wreaking havoc, and that's what he did, and that's all she wrote. But anyway, no, it comes out the 13th, like I said, so absolutely. Check it out. Come back to the channel. Let me know what you think. And, you know, till the next time. We'll catch you soon.